Hi guys, Thom Mills drums here. So today we're going to be focusing on just a whole bar drum fill, so a 1 bar drum fill. The first drum fill we're going to do is looking at our quarter notes. So if we remember those from previous lessons, we're just playing with them with our right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So I'm going to stick the metronome on. Because that's what we've worked with before. So we're going to just try just the fill going around the toms as quarter notes. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're just playing quarter notes just going around the kit. So now when you've got comfortable with that, just practice looping that a few times. 1, 2. So that's our quarter note drum fill that we're going to use today. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do our 8th note, so just bringing in our left hand, going around the drums. So we're going 1, 2. So each beat is on a different drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So one more time with that. 3, 4. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect that up with our groove pattern. So to begin with, we're just going to do our quarter note pattern, which is our, if we remember from last lessons, it's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to marry that up to begin with the quarter note drum fill. Okay, so again, with the click, we're going to count this in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we're going to do is the same thing. 1 bar groove, 1 bar drum fill. The drum fill is going to stay the same, quarter notes going around the drums. But we're going to play the 8th note pattern on as the groove. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then the fill. Okay? So let's try that again with the click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So that's 8th note pattern with the quarter note drum fill. Just one thing to remember is make sure that you finish the bar of the groove. So you're doing your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Play that last 4 and before you start the fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, just make sure that that groove finishes up to the bar before you start the drum fill. Okay, now so that's both quarter note and 8th note groove with the quarter note fill. So now we're going to try both of those grooves again, but with the 8th note drum fill going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the quarter note groove with the 8th note drum fill, which is your 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again. again with the click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. So now we're going to keep to that same 8th note drum fill, but we're going to change the groove now to the 8th note pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so on. Try that with the click. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So that is kind of your quite basic but really important drum fills with quarter notes and 8th notes grooves with it. There's one other thing that is generally we do after we play a drum fill is hit a crash before we come back into the groove. Now this isn't to say that we always do that after a drum fill, but generally it's a good thing to do. So the crash cymbal here, when we play that, we're playing it with the bass drum at the same time because it's falling on beat 1 of the bar. So before you just try and do this, if we go back to just our groove, forget the drum fill for a second, if we just go back to our groove and we're just going to try and hit the crash on the 1. So all that's really happening that changes from the groove is the hand is moving here on beat 1. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? So that's with the crash, that's all that's happening. It's just landing on beat 1. Okay? So try that, just practice that with your quarter note groove. And then try exactly the same thing with the 8th note groove. So the same thing's happening. We're just moving the right hand up to the cymbal on beat 1. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. Okay? So again, practice that. Just standing alone. Quarter note groove, just hitting the crash on every one. 8th note groove, hitting the crash on every one. Once you got that, you're comfortable with that, then what we're going to do is insert it after our drum fill, because what happens is we do our drum fill 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and then we're hitting the crash on 1. It's at the end of the drum fill, but it's on the first beat of the next bar. So then because we've practiced this groove with the crash on the 1, we can go straight back into our groove. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll just play that for you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do quarter note groove, quarter note drum fill. Nice and simple with the crash on the 1. Okay, let's try it with the click track as well. So here we go, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, So hopefully now you can understand why we were practicing that groove, just hitting the crash on the one, because you're getting used to where that's falling. Okay, so that pattern there is the same as we were doing before. We begin with a groove on the hi-hat, the quarter note groove, crashing on the one. Then we do the drum fill, 1 bar drum fill, and then we're crashing onto the one, back into the groove. So that pattern going round is a really good one to practice. And then obviously we can try putting the crash in with the 8th note pattern. So let's try that. So we're going to do an 8th note groove, crash on the one, still just doing quarter note drum fill. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then from there we can try the other drum fill we were doing, which is the 8th note drum fill. Same thing applies though, we're still finishing the bar and then hitting the crash on the one. It's just generally a thing that's used, like I say, in a lot of songs where the crash kind of is accents different sections of the song. So a drum fill might happen between a verse and a chorus, say. You know, that could be your verse, and the drum fill, chorus, and so on. So it kind of splits up sections in the song. Yeah, so let's quickly try doing the 8th note pattern with the 8th note drum fill with a crash on the one. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Cool, so there you've got your first kind of experience of going and playing around the drums and trying out some drum fills. Now just try and practice those, go and really get used to kind of moving around the kit, crashing on the one, coming back to the ride cymbal, coming back to the hi-hat, sorry. So yeah, hopefully that has been useful, and yeah, thanks a lot. Tune in next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.